Hello everyone. Today, let's learn about awning and balcony together. Firstly, let's learn about the canopy. A canopy is usually installed at the entrance and exit of a house as a horizontal component to protect the outer door from rain. Let's take a reinforced concrete canopy as an example. According to their different structures, reinforced concrete canopies can be divided into cantilever structures and independent structures. Suspended structures can be divided into slab and beam slab types. Independent structures typically use columns or walls to support canopy panels, forming a porch. This section mainly introduces slab and beam slab awnings for overhanging structure. So, let's first understand the panel awning. The use of cast-in-place reinforced concrete slab awning can generally be made into variable cross-sectional shapes. The end thickness shall not be less than 50 mm, and the root thickness shall not be less than 1/8 of the board length, and not less than 70 mm. To prevent the canopy from overturning, we also need to put the canopy and the lintel or ring beam on the door together to form a whole. The top surface of the reinforced concrete canopy should be coated with waterproof mortar and extended to the base of the canopy board at the junction of the canopy board and the wall, and turn up to form a lashing. In the picture, the panel awning adopts an organized drainage with a 1% drainage slope for outward drainage. Drip troughs must be installed in prominent building areas with a depth and width of no less than 10 mm to prevent rainwater from flowing into the walls along the bottom of the slab. Next, let's learn about beam and slab awnings. When the length of the awning protruding outward is relatively large, it is usually made into a beam and slab awning, with the beam protruding from the lintel or girth. In the picture, in order to make the bottom surface of the awning board flat and beautiful, and to prevent water dripping around it, the surrounding beams are generally flipped up to form an upward flipping beam. The top surface should be coated with waterproof mortar and should extend to all sides and turn up to form a lashing. Adopting organized drainage on the top surface of the board, 1% drainage slope is made towards the drainage outlet, and the drainage iron pipe is also known as a water tongue. After understanding the reinforced concrete awning, let's then move on to the balcony. Setting up balconies in multi-story or high-rise buildings can provide us with a platform for outdoor rest, observation, drying, and household activities, thereby improving our living conditions. According to the relative position between the balcony and the exterior wall, it can be divided into convex balcony, concave balcony, semi-convex and semi-concave balcony, and corner balcony. Exterior balcony refers to a balcony that protrudes completely beyond the exterior walls of a building. Concave balcony refers to a balcony whose outer side is flush with the exterior wall of a building, or in other words, the balcony is concave on the inner side of the building's exterior wall. A semi-exterior and semi-concave balcony refers to a balcony where one part protrudes beyond the exterior wall of the building, and the other part is on the inside of the exterior wall. The structural form of the balcony, concave balcony, using wall support type, also known as shelf type. It refers to placing cast-in-place or prefabricated balcony panels, simply supported on the walls on both sides. The load-bearing components of an exterior balcony are generally overhanging type. According to the different overhanging methods, it can be divided into two types: cantilever plate and cantilever beam. The structural form of a semi-convex and semi-concave balcony is the same as that of an exterior balcony. Cantilever balcony. The balcony panel is the load-bearing component of the balcony. There are two types, cast-in-place and prefabricated. For cast-in-place balcony slabs, if the floor slab is cast in place, the balcony slab can be poured as a whole with the floor slab. It can also be poured together with the lintel or girth, but the stress on the beam is more complex, and the length of the slab should not exceed 1.2 m. For prefabricated balcony panels, if the floor slab is prefabricated, for the vertical wall load-bearing system, the prefabricated floor slab can be directly extended out of the wall. At this point, ordinary prefabricated hollow slabs cannot be used to pick out, and the picked out part should be a solid slab. For the transverse wall load-bearing system, anti-overturning plates need to be pressed on the inside of the balcony slab. The load transmitted from the upper horizontal wall is pressed onto the anti-overturning plate, ensuring the stability of the balcony. Cantilevered balcony. Lift the beam outward from the horizontal wall or vertical wall, and place the balcony slab on the beam. The cantilever beam can be cast in place together with the balcony, or prefabricated. The overhanging length of a cantilevered balcony can generally be larger, but it should be noted that the length of the cantilevered beam pressed into the wall is generally about 1.5 times the overhanging length. In addition, to avoid seeing the end of the cantilever beam, a surface beam can be added at the end of the beam. The main components of a balcony include balcony panels and railings. The railings and handrails of the balcony have the function of bearing the lateral thrust of people leaning and supporting, ensuring personal safety. Therefore, the detailed structure of the balcony must be sturdy and safe. In addition, railings and handrails also have a certain decorative effect on the entire house. There are various forms of balconies. According to materials, it can usually be divided into three types: metal railings, reinforced concrete railings, and masonry railings. According to their appearance, they can usually be divided into two types: hollow type and solid combination type. Let's learn more about the detailed structure of the railing. From Figure A, we can see the detailed structure of the metal railing. You can reserve holes on the balcony panel. Insert the railing, and then fill the joints with cement mortar. Weld the railing and 5*40 flat steel, and then wrap the flat steel with wooden handrails. From Figure B, we can see the detailed structure of the cast-in-place reinforced concrete railing. They reserve steel bars for cast-in-place reinforced concrete balustrades or railings, reserve steel bars for balcony slabs, and anchoring steel bars embedded in walls shall be tied or welded together. From Figure C, we can see the detailed structure of the prefabricated reinforced concrete railing. Welding of pre-embedded iron components for precast concrete railings and balcony panels. From Figure D, we can see the detailed structure of the brick masonry railing. The thickness of the brick masonry railing is generally 120 millimeters long for half a brick. A full-length steel bar is added to the mortar joint on the upper part of the railing, and tied or welded together with the reserve steel bar embedded in the wall. Finally, let's learn about the drainage of the balcony. To prevent rainwater from flowing into the interior, the balcony floor should be lowered, and its design elevation should be 30 to 50 millimeters lower than the indoor floor. Make a drainage slope of 1% minus 2% from the balcony floor towards the drainage outlet. Diagram A shows that the drainage outlet is buried with a water tongue made of diameter 40 or diameter 50 galvanized steel or plastic pipe, and the length of the water tongue protruding from the exterior wall of the building should be at least 40 millimeters. B diagram. Using downspout drainage, A floor drain is installed at the drainage outlet, which flows into a cast iron pipe with a diameter of 50, then into a cast iron pipe with a diameter of 100, and finally into the underground pipe trench. The introduction to the construction of awnings and balconies in this lecture is complete. Thank you.